Welcome to the Tribune Scouting Report. I'm Jennifer Fierro here at Mustang Stadium on the campus of Marble Falls High School. Marble Falls took a bye last week in preparation for Cedar Park High School, a very dangerous Timberwolves team that many predict is a state championship contender. We're going to check in with head coach Cord Woerner, ask him his thoughts about the Timberwolves, and then we're going to hear from Alan Roberts, who played at TCU and will give his thoughts on what the 2011 football season looks like for the Mustangs. All that and more on the Tribune Scouting Report right now.
Fall season in Texas calls for Sunday afternoons with friends, football, and of course, barbecue. At Bill Smith Butane, we take care of your fuel needs. Refill your propane bottles at one of our convenient locations and save big money on regular exchange prices. Bill Smith Butane.
Welcome back. We want to thank you for joining us wherever and however you're able to. With me now is the head coach of the Marble Falls High School Mustangs, Cord Woerner. And Coach, you guys had the bye week last week. How important was it that y'all had the bye, and did it come at the right time?
Well, you know, honestly, I don't really like bye weeks, but if we could have had one, it really probably did come at the right time. If nothing else, to regroup and get ready for Cedar Park, and also, you know, with the grading period, the way it fell and so forth. So hopefully in the long run, it'll be beneficial.
You guys are going to hit the road this week, going back to Gumpton Stadium, playing Cedar Park High School. Of course, there were a lot of people who speculated that District 25 4A had two legitimate state championship contenders in Lake Travis and Cedar Park High. Has there been anything to change your mind about that?
Well, not right now, because none of them have been knocked out of the hunt. But no, they're a good football team. No question about it. They're a really good football team, and they've got a good little tradition, good little roll going. So, you know, we're going to have our work cut out for us.
Of course, y'all are also coming off of some nicks and bruises and things like that. Without getting into specifics, how healthy is your football team heading into this game against Cedar Park?
We're going to be all right. We've got guys stepping in and filling some spots. We've had to adjust some things that we've done. You know, 2 weeks ago we had some packages that we had to put together, and some of those got disassembled due to injuries, and then we're going to do some other things. You know, our kids have been real resilient. They really have, and they're tired. You know, and a lot of them are having to go on both sides of the ball right now because of some of those things, but they've hopped back in and tried to find a way to get it done every week. So I'm anxious to see what they're going to do Friday night.
Have you been pleased with practices? Do you still find them to be very productive?
I have. You know, I have. Sometimes it's tough, you know. Sometimes in these situations, kids can, well, humans in general, can start looking around at some negative things and not focus on what they need to do. And I'm real proud to this point of our kids being able to understand we're still here, we're still playing, we're still fighting, we got to practice, and we've got to get it done. So if they'll maintain that attitude, we'll be fine. What
do you know about Cedar Park High?
They're big and they're strong and they're fast, and they do a good job, you know. They run the option at you pretty good, and they'll keep pounding it at you. They'd rather beat you running than throwing. The Hogan kid is an excellent quarterback. They're going to keep coming at you with that till you make a mistake and don't take him or don't take the pitch man, and that's where they hurt you. They're big enough up front to kind of waller on you a little bit and make you get lost and lose where the ball is. Defensively, they're very aggressive. They penetrate a great deal and try to disrupt. So, you know, a lot of our game plan is going to have to be to subdue that disruption somehow. So if we can do that, we're going to be okay.
Do you feel like this will be one of the top lines that you faced, defensive lines, front seven? I know last year everybody talked about Cedar Park's front seven being one of the tops in 4A.
Well, you know, we played some good defensive fronts. We have. Champion had some good defensive front guys. Burnett had some very quick guys. It's different. These guys are big and strong. You know, every time you play somebody, you have to take a different approach. they're little quick guys, sometimes you try to mash them a little bit. If it's big, strong guys, you try to use angles and things like that to double teams and things like that to overcome it. So these are big, strong kids that try to penetrate and disrupt, and that's how we're going to go at it.
If there's one thing that you feel like your guys can do very well against Cedar Park, because I'm going to really put you on the spot,
Okay.
I feel like it's that they feel or they believe that they're always in the ball game, that no matter what's going on, that they still feel like they have a shot at winning. How important do you think that will be going into this game Friday night?
Oh, it's huge every week, period, because you can start out, football is kind of a funny game. I mean, it can start out directly opposite of what you envision. So good, bad, or indifferent, we're going to have to keep plugging because there's a lot of game to be played. And I think the biggest thing for us is we're going to have to show up and be that physical football team. We're going to have to strike folks if we're going to have some success.
Okay. Coach, we appreciate it. All the best to you on Friday night. We'll see you at Gulpton Stadium, and we'll be right back.
These days, it's important to save money where you can. Performing regular maintenance on your air conditioning system can help lower your monthly utility bills. Sign up for Ken's Heating and Air Ultimate Savings Agreement and get 15% off on all service repairs. Ken's Heating and Air.
Thanks for staying with us. We want to welcome Alan Roberts, the Assistant Superintendent at Marble Falls Independent School District and the former principal of Marble Falls High School. Mr. Roberts, welcome back to the show. Appreciate you taking time out of your day.
Thank you.
You are a former football player, played collegiately at TCU. The Mustangs are coming off a bye week. How important do you think it was that they took that bye and really, hopefully, settled in, healed up, and things like that?
I think the bye week came at the best, most opportune time that we could have. Number one, we were banged up. We were banged up and got a few nicks and bangs here and there. And so I think this allowed us to heal ourselves. We still have some injuries, key injuries that we're not going to be able to replace. But it's allowed some of us inexperienced athletes to really get some practice time and develop into what's going to look like one of the funnest 4 weeks we have left for the year.
In your opinion and in your mind, has the district lived up to the reputation of being not only a great playoff district, but also a district capable of winning yet another state championship so far?
Oh, definitely, I think so. I think, you know, along with the Lake Travises and the Cedar Parks, I think you've had some foes that have stepped up. Look at Marble Falls. I think we've been very competitive these 6 games that we've been in. We very easily could be 6-0. Dripping Springs has done a super job. They've been very, very competitive. Vandergrift, you know, played nip and tuck to Cedar Park, and Rouse has done a good job. So as I talk to coaches around the district and around the state, they're glad that Marble Falls is in this district and not them. So it is a very competitive district, and I enjoy watching it.
Are you surprised by the success that this 2011 team has been experiencing?
Yes and no. I'm not surprised at the fact that I do know this, that our kids are very competitive and they work hard. When you look at the off season, you look at two-a-days, and you look at the way the team meshes, and in the hallways, the togetherness of those guys, they're a close-knit group. I knew they were going to play well. Hats off to the coaching staff. I think they've molded and adapted because they've had some key injuries, and they very easily could have just folded the tent and gone hunting, but they have not, and they've been very competitive. And so these are the kind of teams that, as I talked to the coaching staff for the year, they were excited because the kids responded, they worked hard, and they were expecting a very competitive year. Not only a competitive year, they were expecting to be in the playoffs, even with some of these key injuries. And that's what I'm excited about, because we see all those things meshing together and molding together. And if you haven't come out and watched the Mustangs, you're missing something, because the Friday nights around Marble Falls have been very exciting so far.
Now this week, Marble will hit the road, go to Cedar Park High School, going back to John Gumpton Stadium where they experienced that 6-0 setback to Vista Ridge High School a couple weeks ago to start the district campaign. Cedar Park, before the season started, people said had a legitimate chance of winning a state title. One of the few districts in the state of Texas that boasted of 2 state championship contenders. Has there been anything that happened the last few weeks to change your mind about that?
I don't think anything's changed my mind that those are 2 very good teams. What has changed my mind is the 3, 4, 5, 6 teams in the district. I think they've been so competitive. Cedar Park hadn't just walked over everybody and anybody. And when you play with that, and you have people like Lake Travis and Cedar Park in your district, that tends to your level of play increases. So I'm going out on a limb, and I'm giving ourselves a very excellent shot. We've got to control the ball. We've got to keep the ball away from their high-powered offense, and our defense has to make some plays. But I guarantee this, what we've been doing this year and everything, we're going to be in it, and I'm excited.
Okay. Mr. Roberts, we appreciate it. I'm sure we'll see you at Gumpton on Friday night.
Absolutely.
Look forward to seeing you in your purple. We'll be right back.
Thank you very much.
The Mustangs will be hitting the road facing a legitimate state title contender in Cedar Park High School, one of the few teams in the state of Texas that has a chance at beating Lake Travis High School. Therefore, the Mustangs are going to have to control pace and they're going to have to control tempo. The best way to do that is to have long, extending drives on offense, leaving the Timberwood defense out on the field longer than the offense. If the Wolves have the ball at any length of time, especially having to go the full length of the field, they're going to dominate time of possession and not leave the Mustangs with plenty of time to get back in the game. But no matter what happens on Friday night, we're going to be there, giving you all the highlights of what happens between the Mustangs and the Timberwolves. And then, of course, we're going to reach you next week when the Mustangs get ready to face another very difficult opponent, Dripping Springs. Until then, I'm Jennifer Fierro. We'll see you next week.